Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, yes.
So, whose song was that?
Well, that is a TC Beats production.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That one
nice.
sounds like it go
My son.
top 10
That's
right
my
away.
oldest
I like
son,
that.
B.
I like that.
That's my number one sunshine, B.
That is hot. Like,
Doing
That's
his
warm,
thing.
warm.
you know, D Nasty and TC should collaborate. Like,
I really think so. That was.
was
First of all, D Nasty is like Chiyuka's like idol.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah, that's what's
you know
up.
how Chiyuka, you know how like D Nasty likes Nas.
Yeah.
That is what D Nasty is to Chiyuka.
That's what's
He's
up.
like, what did D Nasty say about my piece? I was like,
oh,
That's what's
awesome.
up. That's good.
Like that
That's
hook and D Nasty, that's awesome.
he was like, you know D Nasty? I was like, yes.
He's gotten man. He's gotten good.
Well, he's always.
Well, he wasn't good before.
Well, he was good, but you can see the growth.
Uh-huh.
You see
Good
the
morning.
growth.
Good morning, Will.
Music. I'm just saying. Listen, we
I'm
all
only
need
playing,
growth. We all need
I'm
growth,
only
right?
Playing, I'm only playing.
I heard his first piece. He's
No, it's you know.
It can only get better.
It can
Yeah.
only get better. That
Yeah.
is, you know, that is so nice that you guys are saying
That's
that.
what's
Speaking
up.
of that, welcome to OnPoint Experience, everybody. And let's do a quick roll call. Speaking of growth,
Yeah, this your boy Will Jameer Townsend in the building. Good morning, people.
Good morning, everyone. It's Ray Ray in the house. Buenos dias.
Good morning. I'm the newcomer, Shed Wilson.
Yes, welcome.
Happy to be here.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. DJ Queen Dream on the scene. And behind me, Yana, she's here.
Oh, you see?
And then,
And Ron Sullivan back in the booth with the Queen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back in the
Popping
Like
in
that.
the booth right
and
now.
the booth is rocking. Is that what it is?
That's
rocking.
rocking.
What's happening right now?
All right, well, you know, we try.
It's where it's at
OnPoint
right
Experience. Remember, you can catch us at. It's hot in here. Is it hot in here?
Yeah.
It is hot.
it's getting hot.
And so,
Pay the
OnPoint,
AC
you can catch
bill.
us. All right, apparently you paid the AC. Please don't put that fan. Okay, thank you. Big D in the house.
Asking you shall receive.
You can catch us on our website, www.onpointradioshow.com. And also, you can call us at 929-227-4646. And as always, when you listen to us, you listen to real people, real talk, and real life.
Hey, what's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on,
Hey, yo, I
hun.
got it going on, hun.
What's the 411, hun?
What's the
Like this.
411, hun?
I got it going
Hey,
on.
yo, I got it going on.
Real things, right?
Real things.
Well, I'll be
Real-
Uber on this here.
Okay. You was waiting for that. I threw the alley-oop. You saw that, right? I threw the alley-oop.
Good music.
You know what I'm
Sustainable
saying?
music.
That's what I'm
Sustainable
talking
music.
about. Today we're going to be talking about teamwork, but not really. I want to talk about one of the best teams in America, America's team.
How about them
Stepping
Cowboys?
It's about the Cowboys. But this is it's going to take a different tone. It's going to take a different tone.
New York Giants.
Who?
The New York Giants, baby.
Please. When y'all win 5 games, we can talk. Listen, so I was saying.
Cowboys got rings?
Shot fired.
Wait,
We got 5. We got
Could you
5.
get closer to the
Shot
mic? Could you
We got
closer-
5.
This
All right, what's
century. This century.
What happened?
Listen, let me get there. Let me get through this. All right, listen. This is not a good thing. This is a bad thing. But Stacey Jackson, she's the mother. I got that. Stacey Jackson, she's the mother of one of the teammates, Jerry Brown. I don't know if you guys know him.
Don't
He's a
know.
linebacker from 2012 that passed away. You wouldn't know him because he was on the practice squad, but he was also a friend of Josh Brent. Josh Brent was the defensive linebacker. Matter of fact, he was an all-star. But on the Dallas Cowboys. But anyway, what happened back in 2012? This young brother Jerry Brown was in a car accident, DUI, and he lost his life. And his mother, Stacey Jackson, just was awarded Thursday $25 million from unfortunate Josh Brent, who happens to be his best friend who was driving the vehicle, and also the club owner of the club. I think it was in Irving, Texas, Beamers. I don't know if you ever heard of it. We all, if you're from Dallas or visit that's like a big nightclub there. The jury felt that the nightclub owner needed to pay 75% of it because a lot of people that own clubs don't realize you need to monitor these people when they leave your establishment.
Right.
And unfortunately, we had two young brothers, 25 years old. They was driving 110 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. And unfortunately, the brother lost his life. And Josh Brent, the driver, was actually sentenced and convicted, but to 160 days, of course, 10-year probation. And now he's actually retired and now working for the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. But someone's life was lost in this ordeal. But his mother was awarded $25 million, which now she can go on with her life and put this behind her. So that's what happened. I'm sorry to bring y'all down.
Yeah.
I know.
You said we was on love this one.
But it's a good thing.
It was a 25 million payout. Okay,
Yeah,
yay.
you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't bring it
I
back.
mean,
Thank you for sharing
yeah,
that with us.
I figured I need to do
Anybody
that.
have any comments?
Well, I say that because a lot of people in the holiday season are actually driving and
It's
they're
a hard
drinking.
time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a
And
hard
every
time.
season, as far as like Christmas, New Year's, it brings about bad memories of things that we've had, people we've had. So I just want people to be careful when you're out there driving and drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me throw something on.
Wait.
Come to the mic.
Back in the booth. Let me throw something out about that. The people being held accountable, and his friend Brent paid with his freedom. But what should our responsibility be to our friends? You know, if you're my man or if you're my woman, and I know we've been tossing it back or doing whatever.
Right.
What should be our level of accountability to one another as people who love each other?
Right.
Like, yo, we got money. Let's get a cab. Let's get an Uber.
Right.
Let's us make a decision about ourselves.
Right.
And even taking it out of the club owner's hands and the bartender's hands. Just man to man. Let's look out for each other a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I think that we've surpassed the time of accountability. Legally, I understand that the club owner is technically responsible, but at what point do we get back to assuming accountability for our own actions? You know what I mean? I feel really bad for this mother that lost her son. $25 million is not going to bring him back.
That's right.
And although the court awarded that for her, I mean, this guy lost his best friend. And I'm pretty sure that the punishment that he has to deal with in his own mind every morning when he brushes his teeth and looks at himself,
Yeah.
to hold himself accountable for the loss of his best friend. Like my older brother's my best friend.
Right.
I couldn't imagine me being the cause of him not being with me anymore. And I know that kid Brent is probably having to deal with that on a daily basis.
You should be your brother's keeper.
Yeah, you should. But we also live in a time now where it happens, and I can't be hypocritical. I think we've all been in a position, I can say that I've been in a position where sometimes you have gone over the limit. But the crazy thing, and I know you guys are probably don't understand this, crazy thing about alcohol is it does something to your mind to make you believe that you're still good.
Yeah.
That's why when you try to take keys away from a person who's intoxicated,
I wouldn't
like,
understand
No,
that at all.
I know
I
y'all
just
would.
black out. I have no memory.
I know y'all would. Hey, I don't
I
mind.
don't even know that.
I don't mind being the only sinner on this panel. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
brother, I'm with you.
I don't mind being that guy, but like
As
this,
you get older, you just learn it.
right?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like today there's really
so
no
many-
there's
no
no reason
reason.
for it.
Right.
Well,
Like,
it's not-
Uber, Lyft, all of that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not just alcohol. It's also your age. When you're younger, you feel invincible.
Right.
So
It's liquid courage.
yeah.
Yes.
It ain't your age, B. 'cause
No,
let me
no,
just
no.
tell you a
It
couple-
doesn't matter. Yeah, it don't
A
matter.
couple of times you take a little swig before you walk into the room and be
let
like,
me put
yo.
this drink down before I say something I ain't supposed to say.
Yes.
Ray,
Only
so
pick
you
this
have a
drink
what
up.
happened, Ray?
Exactly.
Yes,
Let me pick it up to knock the edge off.
So my what had happened is unbelievably it's not gonna be about politics, even though
Unbelievable.
yeah, but Michael Cohen is doing 36 months, 3 years in prison. So,
That's it.
but that's like that's I mean, I know
Matter of
exactly.
time.
That's it.
Matter
By
of time.
himself.
You know how guilty.
You know how much he had to say?
He had to say
How much
to
he had to give up?
how much he had to give up to only get 36 months. I mean, he didn't even get like a pardon or whatever. But anyway, that's not what it is. I'm just going to like review like this past year has been really, really rough for me. Like I had a couple of losses. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues. Like I'm just recovering from bronchitis, and so I'm coming here to the show, and I think about all our awesome guests that have come, all these cancer survivors, and all these people that are dealing with death, and I'm thinking, man, all the people that I've met on this show, like, have been my inspiration to just stay up and stay lifted. And so, like, I don't really celebrate Christmas, because for a lot of religious and non-religious reasons, because I grew up with two different religions where one says Christmas should be in March and one should be, anyway. So I'm left in So, but in the spirit of Christmas, or of the holidays and the gift giving season, I brought everybody treats.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you waited too long to get to that punchline.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is what's up. Next time, get to the punchline quicker. Give me mine, right?
Send some up to the booth. There you go.
How many more you need?
I have some for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yes, these are
how to
chocolate-covered
product, please.
spoons to bring a little bit of joy and comfort. And actually, chocolate has a lot of healing qualities about it.
Especially dark chocolate. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, dark chocolate has a special healing power.
Facts.
So I have one for D Nasty and one for.
I gotta give me some sun.
2% cocoa.
So
It's all right, honey-coated caramel.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So what had happened is to like honor and pay homage to all our guests that have helped me personally deal with
That's what's
my
up.
entire year and have given me inspiration to keep moving forward because they have been examples for me in my personal life. So.
We're gonna let Ray go first all the time.
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
That was
Thank you so
cool.
much.
I like
Was there
that.
any guests or any two guests that you could think of that really inspired you one day?
I'm sitting right here.
I know.
Besides
For a period of
Sheddrick,
time.
Nicole's story. I mean, like I thought that just because when she came on, she just finished doing chemo and she looked fabulous.
Yeah,
and she was really
that's true.
inspired. And also, oh my God, the guest that the mother who had the daughter that died and wrote the book. I'm blanking on her name.
I just gave that book. I just gave it to
That-
Soraya. She
that was
loved it.
that was
also-
your person.
Yeah.
I forgot.
She had a
No.
coloring book.
She's
The-
talking about.
whose daughter died of that rare disease.
and all the sororities.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was so inspiring because she just made she just empowered herself and created a community to support her daughter, and it became a very beautiful thing. So those are the two guests that really stood out in my mind that really that just like, oh my goodness, why I'm just dealing with
What
this.
are you doing?
I know, what am I doing? Like these women took charge and they made something happen, and so
I gotta say this real quick. Because of our show, I'm gonna make it very fast. Remember Shanae Streets, the young lady came on that wrote the book, and she's actually in Atlanta right now building something, I think with the some type of movie production or whatever because of one of her books. She was working with also trying to work with Dave Digital, so I applaud her. You know, she said the show motivated her to. She went to Atlanta not knowing anybody and looking for producers. So I was like, wow, that's big. So the show is definitely motivating people.
I'm glad
Hey,
it's
listen.
doing that.
And can I give a quick shout out to a former guest that
Of course.
we're on the subject of inspiration, Miss Keisha Lawrence, aka Robbie's mom.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh,
lovely,
yes.
lovely.
Yes.
That's true.
Human being. Such inspiration, and shout out to her.
Hey, I never apologize for my faith because it is who I am. But I think that there's a reason, that all these people have come into your life. The good Lord places people in our lives that keep us motivated and keep us going. And so, we get blessings, and sometimes our eyes aren't open,
Right.
and we're not willing to accept it at the time. But it's always amazing to have someone cross your path that inspires you and keeps you going. And I fully know, not I believe, but I fully know that the good Lord places people in our lives at certain times when we need them.
Wow,
I ain't gonna start preaching yet because I hadn't seen the collection plate,
I
but
thought-
we can get it popping.
I know, like Ron,
like, don't get me started.
aren't you the Reverend Ron?
I started seeing the shoulders. I started seeing the shoulders go.
Okay, guys, we'll be right back. That's a great way it happened.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We have a great segment coming up.
The stage clear. We don't need all these people annoying us. If you ain't performing, please stay in the audience. We got a show to do, dope cuts and quotables. Bring it to you live as well as in the vocal booth. Here's the proof, tell the rest of step off. BCT, pick it up where I left off.
Don't sleep, gotta keep them in check. Your rap sucks, now back up. Stop breathing down my neck with your dragon breath, gargamel, creepy demeanor. Name dropping like you popping, I ain't believing that either. You must got me confused with somebody who cares. A hard-working DJ, rocking parties for years that just relies on skills to keep a calendar full. Never taking whack gigs at an amateur will. I'm a professional, clever, top-notch selector. Blends it never in the way I put it all together is a work of art. Like Dvorak and Mozart, a turntable symphony. We turn it out instantly.
All the people in the house, listen up. This is what you're waiting for. Stop, kid.
I gotta be on point. I got the on point experience. You know why? Because my name is Dr. Dre. I got the Yasmin on point experience. I got the Big Jeff on point experience. I got the Ray Ray on point experience. And of course, I'm with the man D Nasty with the on point experience, because that's the only way Dr. Dre rolls. On point experience.
All right, if you heard us, you can call us at 929-227-4646. We are joined by a number of veteran guests, hosts, and new guest hosts, and just our regular crew rocking it. As you have seen, there's a lot of energy and vitality and new opinions in the room. And speaking of new opinions, we're going to move to our next segment. I don't know if you have an intro music yet. You need to get that going. But it's called #TMV. And I really want to give credit to this young lady because she is bold being in a room with everybody 40 and up trying to be her voice.
Except for Queen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
I'm sorry, Queen, because I'm not talking about Will. Queen. My God.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much for that intro.
We don't look it though, right? We don't look
Not
it.
at all. Not at all. Y'all look
Okay,
about as brand new as these spoons, let me tell you.
Okay, now you can continue, Yana. Very good.
My segment today is about technological communication, how we as millennials communicate differently. And actually, this was going to be just a segment of me saying that, but I was recently introduced to the fact that Shed, our co-host here, our friend of the show, has no social media whatsoever, which is a rarity.
Zero.
In 2018.
Yeah.
So I will pull you into this conversation in a bit. Okay. So it's no secret that millennials, we don't talk on the phone. It's very rare. Actually, to be fair, and I've had this conversation personally with Yaz, she hates the fact that I don't pick up the phone and call her. I will.
Even when I say call me, she just.
I will readily text.
All right, I'm gonna call you.
Yeah. She has to specifically tell me I am driving. I cannot text. So we do not. I've been reading a lot of articles. They say that the aversion to text to calling is because we were raised at the brink of technological advances. We grew up right when texting became a real big thing. You know, we moved into that transition. Personally, I think that is true. I think if texting, the social media were all available earlier generations would have done the same thing. It just so happens that we do it. We also adhere to our own anxiety. I will just postpone calling the doctor to make a call. I don't want to talk on the phone. It's true. It's just true. And anyone around my age range, Queen, can you?
I can attest to that. My cell phone has not been on in over a year, so I know exactly.
My phone is used for texting. It's just an easier medium for me to speak. I get my words out. I'm able to think more clearly about what I'm going to say, whereas in phone conversations it's different. But here's the thing.
Relax.
It's easier also
Let it talk.
in social media where we speak so regularly through social media, and it's just a different communicative medium because you're able to see, you get the experience almost of talking on the phone without actually having to speak on the phone, because through Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, you are seeing what people are doing and you can comment on it on your time and they can respond on their time. It's not an immediate thing.
So you just to be clear, are you justifying, or what are you?
Well, I'm just stating out the facts.
She's attempting to justify it. She's doing a great job of it too.
Oh my God, he's trying to come up with blocks.
Go ahead. I just want to know what this is. What's happening?
No, I'm stating out facts on that.
Okay.
So as someone who doesn't have any social media, I'm very curious as to how you communicate with people other than just talking on the phone.
Smoke signals.
Wow.
Smoke signals.
Drum beats.
Do you have use the cup with?
Do you have the phone with the dial?
Shout out to
The rotator dial.
Shout out to the
You
millennial
working with Mike
voice.
Tyson training pigeons.
Shout out to this wonderful segment, Yana, the millennial voice.
No, I'm very curious.
Here's the thing,
Yes.
and I say this respectfully.
Yes.
You have a beautiful melodious voice.
Thank you.
Why would you deprive the world of hearing that?
Oh, wow.
Well, right now.
Wow,
I'm
smooth
about
operator. What?
Why
Wow.
deprive the world of hearing that beautiful melodious voice?
Because my Shakespearean words are much better read than heard.
But having
Okay.
articulated it that way
Yeah.
proves my point even more. Like that, you're an intelligent young lady.
Thank you.
Be old school. Like reach out and talk to
not
someone.
old school.
But we're
It's not
going.
old school.
We're not.
Reach out and talk to someone. Here's my thing. As far as social media is
Yes.
concerned, and I respect the fact that you millennials, 22 to 37 years old, grew up in a time where that's the popular thing and the thing to do.
Shout out to our just missed.
Exactly.
Right there.
On the fringe of being a millennial.
There.
I have two reasons why I'm not on social media.
You're trying to avoid the government?
No, I'm good with the government.
Three reasons.
I'm kind of good with the government.
Custody battles?
Nah, not custody battles.
Such a negative statement.
Why? Let him say.
You went from 2 reasons to 4. Can a man
Millennial.
like
I'm,
his
I'm
promise?
millennial. I'm waiting on her to ask me about child
No,
support.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Number one, I think it's extremely easy to hide behind a keyboard and say some of the things that are said these days. I think it takes a bold person to actually be face to face with someone and say most of the stuff that people say. And I want to believe in the good of society. Back when I was on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that, it really took me to a negative place because I'd rather assume that a person is good rather than to read their Facebook post from 2 a.m. when there's probably spirits involved, and I'm not talking about the ones outside, the ones that are ingested. I'd rather believe that people are good. And social media these days allows you to see more negative things about people than good things. At least that's been my experience. Number two, at 45 years of age, I'm past the point where I need affirmation from anybody on anything that I do. And I know that sounds a little arrogant and egotistical.
No,
but
it doesn't.
If you think about the basis of Instagram, Facebook posts, and things like that, people put that stuff out there because they need people to affirm how they feel. On Instagram, you got to have so many people following you so you can feel what? Good about yourself? I just need one person to follow me.
Well, I have
Anybody else have a comment?
I have a comment. I'm speaking with the immigrant voice
Okay.
Oh.
because I'm Dominican.
Is that in a different dialect?
Well, see, actually, meaning that what social media does, like everybody's learning one language together to communicate,
Right.
And it kind of leverages all the differences so that people understand that emoji as the same. It's not like, for me, bizcocho in the Dominican Republic is different than bizcocho in Mexico.
Right.
Totally opposite meanings. For us, it's cake, and Mexico is punani. So so it's when you're doing, yes, it is big difference. So one of the things about, for me, what this social media has done is forces a community of all different types to learn how to speak one language together, and it kind of unifies. And so I appreciate that. So I understand that emoji means that no matter what country I'm from or what background I'm coming from. So in that way, it kind of unites people in one common dialect. And so that's what I like about social media.
And what form of social media is that? Because most of the forms of social media I'm aware of, it's not. I can't say that
Text speak, like
she's on
BRB.
LinkedIn.
Well,
Are you on LinkedIn?
I'm on everything.
Professional.
I want to
right?
kind of step away from social media and just go back to the text.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna
yes.
go
What
back.
that does, my daughter, she's 24 years old, and she texts me all the time, no matter how many times I say call me, and how imperative it is for her to speak with me, because now you can dictate the tone of the voice.
Right.
I can see if you're angry. I'm tired of saying, for instance, Tony, are you going to school? LOL. So now I don't know how to take that. She doesn't know if I'm laughing with it or if I'm serious with it.
Right.
So by articulating yourself over the phone, me hearing your voice, hearing the tones, hearing the levels, you can get the message across easy, I think.
I have something to say to that, though.
Okay.
I do agree. There is the different tonality in phone conversations. You do get the inflections of people, whether or not they're upset, whether or not they're joking, sarcastic, etc. But there is tonality in text.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
No,
All
there's
caps.
Cap.
you
All
can't
caps.
you can't
I'm
say
angry.
that you haven't read an email from someone and not gotten a tone from it.
Right. Dot dot dot.
No, honestly, there's certain emails people forget to take off the caps.
You guys speak to the mic.
Oh, yeah. There's situations where people have forgotten to take off the caps and just become easier. So I don't know if they're yelling at me or.
But
if they-
that right there is a tone. Cause go ahead. I'm sorry.
But most of the time, that tone is
You got something
misinterpreted.
because I'm about to.
Well, before you get started, I think that with anything, there's a light and dark. There's a positive and negative. The positive is it can be a universal language.
Right.
Anyone can get on. Anyone can communicate. The negative is you can corrupt anything that you have access to, and you can spew with Twitter muscles or Twitter fingers.
This is specifically
anything that you
with
want.
social media.
Right. So the social media, absolutely, it's in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's what we choose to do with it. You can promote your business with it. You can connect with family members with it. But you can also hurt people and bully people and cause people to kill themselves through the words and the power of your words. So there's a positive and a negative to anything. The medium itself is an interesting platform. It's how people choose to utilize it and what they're going to do with it once they get on there.
Books were once considered the work of the devil. Only the Bible was the only book that was allowed to be printed. Any other book that ever was printed was considered evil. And I think that social media is going through that type of growth.
Yeah.
On
right
Will's
now.
point, I just want to get back to texting. I think texting is, I think it is generational.
Yes.
And I've talked to you about
Yes.
this. I think texting is a cop out, right? If you dialogue is important, but like if you put in a whole speech or on a text, that's just like either you're avoiding confrontation or you just don't want to talk to the person. So it's just very selfish for you to put a whole thing out there. And a lot of us do it. It's not a generational thing. A lot of us just put something out there for the person to just read, and then there's no back and forth. Sometimes, let's say for instance, you can't make it to an event. I can't make it, you just text it. Now the person could not be available. The person might not be. It might be on a train. Person might not read it, but it doesn't matter because you just put it out on a text and it's over because that's your part. I think texting is important for I'm on my way, I'm 20 minutes late, something like that, or let's talk, what time can you talk? But it's not for, oh God, I'm really mad at you because that other day when you spoke to me, I really felt bad about it and I feel like you could kiss my butt. And I don't think texting is for that, but I think that's generational.
I do agree. That is generational, and I see where that distinctive opinion comes in because it is different. Because it is, in a sense, selfish because you're able to put something out. Like I can text Shed and say, hey, I'm not going to be somewhere. I'll give you like a whole monologue about it. I put it out there. It's up to you to read it or not.
Yeah.
You know?
All that writing.
Yeah, I think
just
time.
call.
And it's funny because
I think time is a valuable thing. At 45 years
Exactly.
old,
I don't have time to
45
read
years
that.
old, mine is running out.
Right.
Instead of me taking 3 minutes to read your text,
Just call.
I'd rather you spend 15 seconds to tell me that.
And it's so funny because
and I'm
this-
driving, and you're like, okay, you got 2 minutes to respond.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I'm driving. I can't respond. if
It's
I'm
so
driving.
funny because to round out this conversation, this is a conversation I've had many times with my mother,
And you haven't
who
changed.
hates texting. I mean, to the point where she will yell at her phone as if her phone was going to stop texting her, like if the phone was texting her. You know what I'm saying?
So why is
think
it that
it's interesting.
millennials? Why is it that millennials?
Yes,
Millennials,
Mhm.
because you're speaking on behalf of all.
I am.
And Generation
Why
Z.
is it that millennials are not flexible? Why is it that they don't understand that when they're speaking to a certain group of people, they should not text? So like if you're talking to your friends, that's fine. But if you're talking to people that don't text, why do you all continue to do that? Expecting us to change.
I think because it is a generational thing that has progressed, and you're not gonna revert back. If that makes sense.
I think when you said it being generational, I was thinking about that. I use the phone so much more than my parents. It drove them crazy.
Right.
Like for us, when we got three-way
Right.
calling,
Oh,
my God.
Yes,
It was
Oh
amazing.
my
That's
gosh.
true. And the long cord.
The 45-foot cord, you go through any room in the house.
Yeah.
So we lived on the telephone where my parents,
Yep.
they were like a 2-second call.
Yeah.
Mother was like, got it.
You're
Click.
right.
That was it.
That's a
So
great
I wonder
analogy.
going
You had to
generationally,
pay bills
if
for
we,
long
if
you on
right,
the phone.
because it was bad news phone rang. If for us using the phone, like I loved where I was always on the phone until
We
I
had
worked
quarters in our
banking.
pockets. Yeah.
And now I despise when my phone rings. I'm like, because I think it's work. So I'd rather text now,
And-
but I understand my parents the phone was a necessity, but my parents had no phone conversations. When I call my parents to this day, they're in their 80s. Hi, Ma, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, love you. Bye. 3 seconds and it's done.
It's done.
And we used to talk on the phone after school for hours.
And this is something that still relates. That attitude is something that still relates to this day. You just changed the medium because my mother will respond that way about text. It is to be something quick, like I'm here, I'm not here, I'm whatever, and that's it.
Right.
She doesn't want to back and forth.
Right.
She will readily call. It's just something that I think goes on. Like I said in the beginning, if texting, if social media was something that was introduced earlier in the earlier generation, you guys would do it,
Of course.
and then you wouldn't revert back
But we're not.
to something else.
But
Well,
it was.
I have
Big shout out to
Yeah.
those seniors that have the flip phone that don't have text.
Ooh, big shout out to them.
text.
Shout out.
And they text.
and they text.
I'm very impressed with
Yeah.
them.
Go
when they do
slow.
that.
They press
Gotta
3
press the button
times,
5
the letter
times to
R.
get to the
To be
next level.
fair,
Yeah.
I'm
Big shout
also
out to
big shout out to, I cannot tell you I appreciate this enough. Big shout out to seniors who also are big on texting.
Yes,
Are
Snapchat.
big
Shout
on-
out to them.
Shout out to them that they
They're
moved with the
committed.
times.
Well, they wanna
they're
talk to the
committed to
grandkids.
communication.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work
Yeah.
to text on a flip
Yeah.
phone
It's
with
a
bad
lot- it's
fingers.
a lot of
They are
work.
committed to get
And
that
I
message
mean,
out.
some of
impressed
them-
with them on that.
some
'cause
of
I'd be
them have, like-
oh, shoot.
No, but some of the, I'm talking about the seniors that got like an iPhone,
No.
and they'll readily send you like a emoji.
You know
and
what?
You're like,
They
Grandma, how'd you
in.
figure that out?
I'm
I
with
think my
that.
mom is ahead
My,
of her
I'm
time
sorry.
then because her thing is FaceTime. That's what she wants to do all the time. It's
Because
not even
that-
I hate
it's-
FaceTime.
It's FaceTime.
'Cause it's
I'm
a
like,
phone.
Mom, I cannot answer my FaceTime.
Me
right. I
neither.
just got out the shower.
Because it's like talking on the phone, but with your
too
face.
much.
Right. It's awesome.
Girl, your mama done seen you before. Answer the phone.
My mother doesn't know her cell phone number.
Hey, you know what?
How many of us know other people's cell phone numbers? How many of you
Right.
know?
Ooh, none.
I'm-
My
know
mother's.
It's
anybody.
just programmed in.
Yeah,
Programmed in.
We're dumbed down with this.
No,
stuff.
no, I still hold on to my generational X memories.
You have your black book, you said?
Yes, I have it. Yes, yeah, I have it.
So this has been a great.
Yana,
This has
there's
been a
o-
great.
If I may for one
Go on,
second,
one
there's
second.
only one thing worse than text.
What's that?
Group text.
I hate
I hate
group
group text.
text.
Especially when they
Okay,
start talking
now
about
that-
stuff outside of the
That
topic.
I will absolutely agree
that's
on.
the worst.
Okay, that's
Everybody's
a show for another
laughing.
segment.
Hey.
Oh my God.
You don't know
So this is a great segment, everybody. Yana,
Thank
hashtag the millennial voice. Is there anything you'd like to close with?
Nah, just keep on texting.
No group text. No group text. No group text.
No, we found our
We'll be
happy
right
medium.
back, everybody. We'll be right back.
That's what's up.
Look, you know they're hating on your fine now. And your back shot looking like a wine glass. And your shoe game looking like a time ad. Too fly, someone bring this up a launch pad. Cocaine, white skin, no cut. The mother mad they ain't spending like us. You gon' need a little more wet, give me your cup. Keep it on the low when we out doing our stuff. Who gon' beat it from the back, bring up the tracks? Never let them know that I've been sliding through the back. Never let them know that we've been doing things. Got a little fling, need a little green, shorty holler back. I ain't trying to brag, I can have a lot of, but there's something about you that's phenomenal. Top of the class, and shorty, this the honor roll. Dodging these hopes, I'm 10 toes. It's comical.
If they find out about you, they gon' hate. Yeah, yeah. They gon' do what they can to get in the way. You know they will. So let's keep it low key. We gon' keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Keep it low key. Body's got low key. Let's keep it low key.
Kinda funny how your friends came.
You're listening to OnPoint Experience.
And we just listened to Any Means featuring Daniel Peter and Dennis Blaze with Low Key.
Thank you.
And we're back. So
Yes.
we're back. Changing it up a little bit. I know we do a lot of R&B, hip hop, and sometimes some techno, but we're mixing it up a little bit and bringing on a bachata artist.
Just felt that.
Aunque la gente nos vea diferente.
Taves.
Wait, shh. I'm only playing. I'm feeling it. It's like,
Saying something.
some
Saying something.
coquito and some chocolate. Bachata.
Enso Taves is an up-and-coming bachata artist that explores Dominican bachata with jazz and electronic synthesis to tell cinematic stories. Romantic and bohemian, the New York-based singer-songwriter, musician, and producer brings a fresh new approach to the bachata world. And I just want to also say I work with Enzo under a different name. We're both techies, so we share that in common. But thank you so much. But when I found out that he was an artist and I saw him perform, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta bring him on the show, and I want to introduce him to my community and let him know about. So welcome to the show. Enzo.
Thank you. Good morning.
So tell us what's happening right now.
A whole lot is happening for me. So first of all, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh my God, good morning.
Happy Saturday.
What a great voice.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
My phone actually went crazy trying to find, like, the GPS doesn't work here. I think it's like the tall buildings.
Yes, or the metal.
So I was just lost. I was lost for like 20 minutes.
Well,
but
now you're found.
But I'm found. Thank you. It feels very nice here, very warm. So
yes.
You guys are in a
we
good
gave
mood.
you some chocolate.
Oh my God, this making my day.
This woman is killing me.
Today is a very.
Are you millennial?
What does that mean?
He's a Generation Z.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means. I was born.
Then you're not one.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's Gen Z.
Because if you was one, you'd be like,
you'd be owning it.
I could relate to all of the 40 foot, phone cable and having long conversations and like the three-way calling. My parents being very upset.
His parents.
Cool.
upset in the middle of the night. What are you doing?
No, his parents doing it.
Oh no, they were like very quick too. You know, so it was, so I relate to that. So you asked the question, what's going on for me right now? A whole lot. So I just released the major thing that's happened to me in 2018 is that I got signed to an independent label.
All right, congrats, man, congrats.
Yes,
That's big.
Yes. Yeah, TMP Records. They're a small label, independent of bachata music.
Right.
That's big for me because I get the support and the special attention that I need to push my music. And with that, we had one release so far. Mm-hmm. And interestingly enough, that song has become so far 29 in Australia top 200. And
That's big,
that's
man.
interesting.
Why does that seem to be
that's
funny?
fantastic.
Yo, that's a fantastic.
It is interesting because I don't know anybody in Australia.
Was number 24 in Australia.
Yeah.
He wasn't a good croissant.
It is very
in a
interesting.
group back in the day.
Okay.
So as we were saying, brother.
Yes. That's interesting. So that's the major thing that's happened to me. We have a song coming up. That song that you just heard is the one that became 29. It keeps going in the charts. But there's a song coming up. It's gonna come out December 28th. And so it's called Canciones Banales. It means like songs written in vain. That's kind of like the translation in English. It's part of a 3 song set that I initially released last year alone. But it's very hard to get attention in the world of music. So we actually re-releasing those songs with TMP Record, and they're getting much more attention now.
That's great.
And
so
then
do you produce? Do you sing? What
Yes.
He does everything.
A musician? What?
Unfortunately, I do everything. It's very selfish.
Yes.
No. A lot of labels want that.
List all the instruments you play.
It's terrible. But I basically know like everything that goes on. I hired to record so far for this record only the percussion because I know what it takes to do percussion. Music instruments develop calluses in your fingers. So I do have the calluses of the bass guitar, of the guitar, and also of the piano. But I do not have the calluses of the percussion. I know where those goes. I studied percussion for over a year in college, and I know what it takes.
Oh, better watch it, brother.
So I hired the percussion.
I'm glad the camera's right here.
Yeah, we're good. And I actually recorded a whole full-length album. It's 9 songs.
Oh.
Right.
But I only released 3.
Well, how long are the songs?
How long are they're average like 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
I wanted to ask you. I know it's funny. I was at a nightclub last night for this Christmas party, and they played a lot of bachata, right?
Yes.
And it was very, very. This is softer. I can hear the jazz influence with it, which makes it soft, a little warmer, and more receptible. Like people can seem to, take this. I wanted to ask you, what does creativity mean to you? Because you play so many different instruments. I know the guitar, the strings are very big in bachata, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's the center instrument, yeah.
Right.
I'm trying
so
to
you're talking
wipe
about
it
the
off.
bass, you're talking about the acoustic, you're talking about the electric guitar, you're talking about many different strings, right?
Yeah.
What is creativity to you? Which instrument? Well, it's two questions. What's creativity to you, and what is your best instrument?
Oh, that's such a good question to ask. Creativity for me is life. It's being alive. And my best instrument is my mind, my thoughts.
Okay.
Deep, brother.
And we can go into detail what I mean by that. But I really mean this. Yes, absolutely. So, for me, if I don't have the opportunity to express through creativity, I feel dead. So
right.
So it means life to me. Without being able to create, without being able to creatively figure out solutions to problems that people have or make things, you just mentioned that, to you, bachata, what I'm doing sounds like more easier to familiarize versus what you've heard. It's interesting because it creates, that's a solution that I'm trying to make, but at the same time it creates a problem because the people that are used to bachata in a traditional sense, they are very appalled by it. They're very like, oh my God, this is.
You change like you changing the culture.
Yeah, I'm changing the culture.
Yeah.
So, and all that is intentional. So then why I think my main instrument is my mind. Well, it's the same reason why I play so many instruments. It's not because I just don't want to give anybody a job.
You like Prince, brother. You play a lot of different instruments.
It's more like I just have a very clear idea of what I want. And for me to get that from somebody, it will cost me a lot of money.
Yes.
And I don't have the money to get a professional musician in a particular niche and tell him exactly what I want. It's easier for me to sit down and do it. There are things that I can't do.
Right.
The percussion, again, for me to do that, it will take me a lot of work. But then, little by little, I'm getting to know more people in the industry, in the environment that I can trust to get them in the studio and, working for 3 hours until I get what I want. And they're willing to put up that, get over that,
So we have another co-host. I'm going to ask you a question that he would ask in the honor of Curtis.
Yes.
Curtis Sherrod.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Mic check, yeah, what's up? So if you had your dream, collaboration, what are the top 3 bachateros you would like to work with?
Does it have to be bachata?
Or no, okay, your top 3
But it has to be
artists.
bachata.
I can work with those limitations.
Okay, who's your number 1 bachatero to you right now?
That's easy. The first guy did it.
No, it's old
Okay,
music.
let's answer.
I can answer that question in the bachata world, but I can also answer it in
the general
in the
world.
whole world. So, I'm just releasing next year 3 covers of Luis Segura. Corazón de Acero, Mi Muchachita, y Cariñito de Mi Vida.
Okay, you always have to listen to that song.
So
I think the matter with Yaz, Yaz is already under the spell.
It's
She's
so
like,
beautiful.
I was like,
it's pretty cool.
I don't know what you said, but brother.
Check it out.
Yeah.
As long as you say it like that, it's gonna sell.
That's gonna sell for me.
I don't know what you said.
Go ahead.
If GPS ever stops working again, just stand outside and say that.
Oh my God.
Yaz is under your spell.
You guys are so funny.
Corazón.
Okay.
We caliente.
So that's one artist. He's el papá de la bachata. So he made bachata back when it was called bachata roja or música de cabaret. Like music for cabarets. It was not very accepted in the high spheres of Dominican music. And I admire that a lot. I really love the songwriting. It's fantastic. Another artist that I just love his songwriting. He's just amazing. Is Luis Vargas.
And
Mi
an
tocayo.
overall world, overall world, who else would you?
Oh, okay. All right, let me finish. In the bachata world, then it would be El Majime Anthony Santos.
Of course.
Right? Now, in the whole world, if I had my dream come true, it would be to record a duo with Bjork in bachata.
Oh my goodness! I could totally see that working.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, yeah.
What is it about her that makes you want to do that?
She's just the most creative mind that I could think of in the music, in the world of music.
Can I
She
ask
has
you a
no
question?
boundaries.
Sorry. A lot of artists are storytellers.
Yes.
What's the story you like to tell in your music?
What's a recurrent story that I would like to say, or
as
like
you're-
one that I've told?
No, as you're being introduced to the world now,
Mhm.
and we're listening to
What makes
you.
you different?
What's the story that you're trying? What do you want us to hear from you? What are you trying to convey to us as your listeners?
It's gonna take a minute, you know. You
Say
trying
it
me
in
to
Spanish, it'll be-
give it away right away.
You have
Look,
to be like, see?
sí,
Háblame, háblame.
Keep talking.
Sí, mi amorcito. Look, it's the same story that everybody should or wants to tell at some point. It's a story of overcoming adversity. It's a story of living life. It's a story about pursuing your dream. It's a story about struggle. It's a story of rag to riches. It's the American dream. The American dream is not American. It's the world dream. And America's been very good to capitalize on it. It's the Mexican dream. That's why Mexicans come here. It's the Dominican dream. It's everybody's dream. I want to tell that story, you know. And that story is told through love, through tears, sacrifice, and also through accomplishment. So it's very generic, you know. I have my own way to say it, but you know, you have to follow my story.
What a great.
I was reading something about bachata, and one of the first guys who did it was Jose Manuel. I don't know, I forgot his last
Jose
name.
Manuel Calderón.
There you go. If he was here today, what would be one of the things that he would say to you about your music?
I have no idea, brother.
What would you say to him?
I said thank you. I said thank you for creating this music. Bachata is actually come from a mix of son, Cuban music, and bolero. So it was like romantic, but also danceable. And then the dancing came along, and then the dancing was called bachata, and then the music acquired that. So he was one of the pioneers, along with Luis Segura. You know, he's no longer with us, I believe, right?
Do you ever plan on doing an English bachata song? Or
I already did it.
Oh.
And you see how you did it? I already did it.
Creativity, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mind
Okay.
is that-
I did
Oh,
it.
that's what's popping in Australia.
No.
Oh, the
It's
Spanish
actually over yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, guys, I have so much more coming on. 2019 is just gonna be the release year. I have 33 release songs, 6 are original, and then the rest is covers. I'm making a whole jazz album, jazz standard album into bachata, and I'm struggling with that damn guira because it's so loud. So I'm considering using maracas.
No, but for everybody else.
We from
let 'em know,
Africa.
let 'em know.
Africa, we got that.
Right. So you have an event
Hey.
on tonight. So Enzo is more than just a musician.
He's
He's a
awesome.
yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God,
he's
thank
like
you,
tonight,
thank you.
exuding confidence. Like,
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, good.
that
thanks.
guy.
Dímelo about tonight. Habla de esta noche. What's happening tonight?
Tonight, okay, great. So we have a toy drive at Harlem Nights.
Who's we?
Okay, great.
130
Yes. You can never do these alone. All right. So you need friends, you need family, you need people you can trust. And I'm very blessed that people really appreciate me and just give me the opportunity. So I have 2 friends basically that I'm collaborating with. One that I'm collaborating all the time with is Melvin Elias. He's also a bachatero, fantastic singer-songwriter. So we join forces. We're putting our band together. We're performing multiple places. And he's singing tonight. And then there is another friend. His name is Kelvin, and he's the one organizing this particular event at Harlem Nights. He has a band called Grupo Aurora, which is bachata. And for this month is the theme is you give away an unwrapped toy, and it goes to charity. Just
So
fantastic.
bachatero is
Sí.
someone who sings bachata.
Absolutely, yes.
So so what time is the show and where is it at?
All right, the show starts at 8 p.m. tonight. Is at Harlem Nights.
138th Street and
You know it,
Paul
baby.
Jr.
That's right.
Boulevard.
Oh,
So in
I
Harlem.
didn't know this. You've been there. You should show up with a toy.
Yeah.
Right.
Bachata in Harlem. That's
Might
what's
be
up.
there.
So I am opening.
That's definitely new. Bachata
It is
in
interesting.
Harlem.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And
I love
you know,
it. Washington Heights is
and
creeping in.
You know what I like? There's a lot of
That's
black
fantastic.
folks there. The vibe is very cool. I really
Yeah.
like the vibe. You don't
Music
see
is
black
music.
people
Music is
in bachata clubs, but now we bring in bachata, which is African,
All the
Right.
way.
Right.
to Harlem. And I feel black folks embracing it, and I really like the vibe when I was there.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Bachata when it first came out, I just thought it was very slow. It was
Yes.
like because we were always used to, when the Spanish version of the song
Merengue.
the clay came,
Or
or the salsa merengue came in, you'd be like,
let's do it.
Workout,
Yeah.
But then when Bachata came out, it was mad smooth and cool, and then it's just come such a long way. What made you decide to go in that field as opposed to, or that genre as opposed to the other music? And
That's a very big question. The realization that music has a value to society besides entertainment, and within my culture, within my born and raised culture, that's Dominican Republic, there's just so much that hasn't been done. And no matter where I go, that's my flag. So if I want to represent anything in music, it has to be my culture. That's why I love bachata.
wow, we need to keep you for the conversation around today's music. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So everybody tune in tonight. Come watch Enzo perform his music with his bands at Harlem Nights.
I'm opening, so if you're there
You have to be there first. Yeah.
you're not going to see me. I'm live for the
you
first
can't
25
bring a toy,
minutes.
bring a toy.
Right.
You bring
No
a toy,
comment.
please.
And also, before we close out, how can people reach you to gig, get you to a gig?
Yeah, well, just hit me up through Instagram. That's the best way, you know.
Enso Taves?
And what's
Yeah,
what's your
Enso
Instagram?
Taves, ENSO TAV as in Victor ES. Just look me up for that. There's nobody else with that name.
You can also send them carrier pigeons.
Smoke signals, drum beats.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being on our show.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
good
that
luck
was just
tonight.
hot.
I'm gonna be there.
All right, you're gonna be there.
I love your music, brother.
Thank you
I
very
guess
much.
we'll
Thank you,
come
guys.
and meet you. So let's close out with one of his songs. This was a great show.
Yes.
And, always gets better. So you want to end it in something in Spanish just to help me out? Just say, thank
Hoy
you for
se
coming.
bebe.
Oh, today we drink.
Is it okay that we close to Canciones Banales?
Yes.
Please, yes. That's a premiere, actually.
So this is a world premiere, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, premiere.
Hell yeah.
Exclusive.
Tarde tiempos, casi una vida ley. Hoy esperándote. Fui despertando entre mundos, entre el aire que una vez lleno de heridas fatales. Mis sentimientos y mi vida desgarrándose, ay, ay, ay.